Hey, welcome to the Tim and Gugabe podcast. This is your host, Tim. Gugabe, how you doing?
Yeah, not too bad. Quiet day. See how it goes. Mediocre card, but hopefully some value here. How about you?
Yeah, a little behind on kind of research. Been researching some future cards, but I've taped like half of it, so it's an okay card. I don't know, a few intriguing fights, but kind of whatever.
Yeah, pretty much. We don't get the Romanov versus Lima fight every week.
Yeah, you just gotta throw Paul Craig on a card, and the fight card automatically becomes hilarious and fun. I feel.
Yeah, it's in that territory, I'd say.
Yeah, but we can just start at the bottom. Hunter, Azure, and Cole Smith. What do you think here?
Smith's kind of an annoying, grindy, volumey kind of guy, I guess, but Azure should kind of have him covered most of everywhere. He should be the better athlete, better wrestler, better striker. Smith's upside's probably a sort of a split decision kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Price is about right. I'm not particularly interested in getting involved with Hunter Azure at minus 250, particularly since he's not particularly reliable as a offensive control wrestler. Like he loves his hands.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think price is about right.
Yeah, I got in on this like early. Like I got Azure. I have him in a 2-leg parlay that pays out minus 105, and the first leg I already hit, and then I have him just straight at minus 150. It's I'm glad I'm glad I beat the line. But now I think the value's kind of gone. But yeah, I kind of see it the same way. It's just it's just the way Smith usually wins fights. Like I don't even think Smith is. I don't think Azur's way better than Smith. Overall as a fighter, I think he's like a little better. But I just think stylistically, it works out well for him in this matchup. Smith has landed. What was it? It's just he's got to grapple Azure, and Azure has like 81% takedown defense. And the other thing I saw is, so it's just like, I don't know. I just feel like grappling Azure to win 2 rounds will be tough. And on the feet, Azure's done really good at distance just against everyone. He's outstruck everyone at distance. And then Smith has only landed 13 head strikes in 30 minutes of fighting. Or 17 head strikes, sorry, in 30 minutes of fighting. So I don't know. I just feel like he's going to be in a bad spot, but he's kind of got to get a cage push, I feel. But I generally like Azure can get backed up, but Azure uses like good wrist control or get a standing back take. But Johns in that fight gave it up because he abandoned his overhook, and I was watching Azure against Katona, and he doesn't really abandon overhooks, so I think he'll generally have the back take covered. But that was a little bit of a rant, but since I bet Azure, I thought I'd go a little more detailed.
Yeah, I feel like Smith's win condition is a stupid split decision.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's like, plus 200 for maybe a split decision where pretty much all the dominance upsides on the zero is like, why would I bother?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's kind of the way I see it too. I could see if Azure just randomly isn't great if he gets his back taken. He got his back taken by Katona. Like maybe Smith could choke him out with a rear naked choke, but Azure seemed to generally know how to reverse position there. And people forget Katona. I think Katona's a little underrated. It's like he lost to Merab and Azure, but I mean he subbed Bryce Mitchell 2 years ago. He like. I don't know. I feel like Katona's kind of underrated. Like, people kind of give him too much shit, I feel.
Yeah, Katona's weird because I feel like he had some very good constituent parts to his game, but like his meta construction was awful.
Yeah.
So like you can say a bunch of cool ideas, and like he's pretty good at what he did. It just the issue is that what he did wasn't really geared towards winning fights or winning rounds.
Yeah, he's skilled everywhere. That's the thing. Like he's pretty good everywhere, but yeah, I know what you mean. He can't really like dominate in spots, I feel.
He's kind of quantity. It's like, there's some cool shit there, but it's like, how does this consistently turn into a decision win? And if you're doing it at bantamweight, it's like, your finishing rate, unless you're a freak, is going to be pretty low.
Yeah. Yeah, but still, like, the thing is, he fought Azure and Merab, and it's just 2 tough style matchups for Katona. like Merab pretty much fucks up everyone, and I feel like Azure's actually like I don't think Azure's amazing or anything. I just think he's solid. You know, he's like a solid like low to mid tier bantamweight. I feel.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Yeah. I also think I think Azure, if he gets on top, if he decides to wrestle, like he may not, who knows, he could have some success too. I liked his wrestling rides on the Contender Series, but yeah, that's kind of my thoughts in a nutshell. Next fight is Romanov and Lima. You can take the lead here. I don't really know much about Romanov. I haven't really taped here. So this sounds like a very Gugabe type of fight.
Romanov is not especially. He's a very big unit. He just kind of pushes forward and throws arm punches till he gets pulled off the other guy. This is Lima, so Lima off his back is obviously a worry. But I'm also kind of thinking like Lima tends to get subbed. He's not like getting TKO'd, and Romanov's positional game is not particularly good.
Yeah,
like Lima can kind of hold guard. Okay, yeah, Lima can kind of guard retention a bit and that sort of stuff before he gasses. And I'm just like, if Romanov can't immediately hit a takedown, Lima kills him. Like
so
Romanov
just a top striker. Is he just he's a top game positional guy? Like I literally know nothing about him.
Romanov is essentially what I believe I would do if I was fighting MMA, which is 5 minutes of aggression, sort of try and fall on top of the guy and get a sub, and then gas out badly.
Fair enough.
He's not UFC caliber, but the way he lines up is maybe if he does get the takedown, Lima just kind of collapses under him.
Yeah,
there are huge holes in this game. I was going to play Tiberia pretty confidently over him just because, against Tiberia, that win condition doesn't really exist in the same way.
Oh yeah, it's hard to grapple Tabora. Yeah,
and Romanov is awful striking.
Yeah.
Lima could collapse under him, but I feel like Lima should be the favorite here just because I feel like the striking gap is massive. Lima can actually stuff a takedown or two while fresh. And it's Lima's getting subbed, and everybody Lima's subbed has got UFC sub wins and that sort of stuff. And when I watch Romanov's top game, I'm not like, this guy's very skilled. I'm just like, this is some regional meme shit.
Yeah.
I'm sure I must link your YouTube clips of when he was booked against Tiberia. It's like huge fat Russian dude just like Donkey Konging the guy from Top Control.
His competition's awful, and it's a lot of round one finishes, just like looking at his record. So I'm sure it's like definitely one of those where you can't know for sure, you know, how if he's any good at all type of thing. So,
and frankly, I think the unders should be pretty much a lock here. I think Lima's got more margin for error, and honestly, if Romanov just kind of plodded towards him and Lima just killed him in 30 seconds, I would not be shocked.
Yeah,
it's just Romanov. There are many holes there, and maybe Lima just collapses if he gets takedown, which is very possible as Lima, but I don't think Lima is that positional TKO'able, especially while kind of fresh.
Yeah,
Lima's beating the shit out of OSB in the first round, all that sort of stuff. Lima's issue is hence a cardio dump when he hurts people.
Yeah, I just have to tape it a little bit, so I don't really have a ton of context. I mean, I obviously know Lima, but I gotta watch this guy. But he just kind of seems like a regional can crusher. But I mean, I have to look into his game.
Yeah, pretty much. There's not much of a game there, to be honest. Honestly, if he does win, I wouldn't mind it too much, because if he does win, it's probably going to be Donkey Konging, dominant first round, and maybe he will then be favorite against somebody who can stop a takedown.
Tabora.
Possibly. He was even against Tiberia. That was booked.
Yeah, Tabora, I mean, good luck grappling him. That's one thing I've always, even whenever Tabora had a couple really bad fights in a row where he just looked awful. His defensive grappling's always been there.
Yeah. Again, Tiberia for the heavyweight is, Tiberia for heavyweights will be up there as a functional grappler.
Yeah.
Probably top 5 heavyweight. How many heavyweights are really functional grapplers?
Yeah. He's up there, especially as a wrestler.
Heavyweight's weird, folks. You get guys like Blades who are Blades is a good takedown guy, but in terms of actual top control and that sort of shit, he's not very good.
Remember when Tabora was just completely embarrassing Derek Lewis and then got knocked out in the third round? I mean, I know
Derek Lewis
a lot about Derek Lewis, but yeah.
Yeah, like so a standard Derek Lewis fight. Again, like I keep playing people to beat Derek Lewis by sub, and I swear Derek Lewis has now gotten out like 7 straight deep subs.
he just stands up. It's fucking hilarious. But enough talking about heavyweight though. Let's talk about a more elite division, women's flyweight. Araujo and Montana De La Rosa. I haven't taped yet. I just feel like, I mean, it's pretty binary. I feel like Araujo's a better striker. De La Rosa's a better wrestler. Araujo has 100% takedown defense in the UFC, but it's not like De La Rosa has better takedowns than anyone she's fought for sure. There's no way I can play. I need to look into the takedowns. I feel like it all kind of depends on that. But there's no way I can play Araujo after seeing round 2 against Davis, where she has no get-ups. So a takedown could honestly be a round for De La Rosa. So there's no way I can play Araujo at minus 185. Like, if De La Rosa just falls in top position, I feel like a round could be in the bank. But De La Rosa's striking is pretty awful, too. So it's kind of pretty binary. What do you think?
Kind of depends on De La Rosa's approach. Like, if she does what she did against Andrea Lee, which, yeah, she got her ass whooped, but she also just never stopped coming and went for like 15 takedowns.
That's what she kind of usually does, right?
Not always. That Lee one was probably a high. Let me check the stats.
I feel like she always kind of at least attempts her game. Her takedowns aren't amazing, but they're okay. You know, they're pretty good.
Yeah, she does.
But like 6 takedowns a fight, you know.
Yeah, against Lee, she attempted 12. Against Kasem, 3. Against Ostovic, 6. Against Barella, 3. Like,
yeah, I mean, you definitely want that 12, which you may not get. You may, yeah. It's just, yeah, but still, a minus 185 who has no get-ups. From what I remember, I still need to tape. That just seems like a bad idea.
Yeah, my feeling is also like the cardio dynamic. Like, De La Rosa doesn't really gas per se and just comes at you.
Yeah.
So, like, personally, my sort of my idea would be waiting to the end of round 1, then trying to get De La Rosa alive.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, it's quite possible with round 1.
Like, Araujo's pretty good explosive in round 1 too.
I also kind of like GTD here at minus 200. Like, the finish, as far as I'm concerned, is majority Araujo KO, and Rosa was tough as fuck.
Yeah. It would probably be, I don't think De La Rosa is getting put away. So it's like maybe De La Rosa's sub, but Araujo seems pretty competent as a grappler. So no, I hear you.
Like, if I can fade a women's flyweight KO at minus 200, I don't mind doing it.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of my view of it. It's just like, and even like Araujo vs. Bernardo, where she was really teeing off, it still took her 3 rounds to put her away. And I think De La Rosa was
an outlier KO, than anything. Yeah. It didn't even seem like a KO like that was coming. It just kind of happened. I just chalked those up to very. Well, I have a thing where I've been doing it for a while. Like, I'll play not someone inside the distance if I think they have no sub path. Like, and I'll put it in a parlay if it's like under minus 400, just because I fade women standing KOs. Like, and I don't think I've like missed one this year doing that. So it's kind of just been a strategy I've been doing. But I think like, I've just been like doing that recently because standing KOs are pretty rare. I think you'd agree.
Yeah, especially when Rosa is tough as fuck, and like honestly, it wouldn't shock me if a lot of this fight just ends up being played as like a cage grind or like Rosa continuously chain wrestling and Araujo stuffing her kind of stuff, which is just like finishes don't happen in those situations.
Yeah, I need to watch Araujo's takedown defense because I just feel like De La Rosa can chain things. Like she kept taking Lee down. It's just Lee has get-ups where Araujo doesn't. So I kind of sort of think De La Rosa's value, like at first glance, but I still agree with the live betting situation though, because Araujo's tough early. Like she's explosive early.
Yeah, same. Yeah, live entry is probably the spot. Even for the GTD, like, if you can get live G go distance lines, it's probably best to leave the go distance bet till after round 1, because that's probably most of the sting out of Araujo's KOs.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think De La Rosa's live here, but I don't want to touch it pre-fight.
Yeah, I hear you. Super interesting fight next that I taped a lot. Fabinski and Muniz. What do you think here?
I defer all my thoughts on grappling to Technical Tim, who is an expert in the field.
Shoot, hold on. Oliver, be quiet. Hold on. Sorry, dog's barking. But
right,
I'll talk about it. So before I taped, I thought the value was all on Fabinski, just because I think Fabinski is good at what he does, lands a shitload of takedowns. And generally, if you don't finish him, he's probably going to beat you. But but then after I taped, I kind of, I don't know, I'm really torn here. Here, I'll start ranting some thoughts out that I really saw, and then I don't know, you can kind of chime in. But yeah, Muniz's cardio I don't like too much, so that's that. But I do think he's super dangerous early, and I give Fabinski the edge down the stretch. So I also noted the live betting situation with Fabinski, where I think if he loses, he's probably going to lose the first round type of thing, Fabinski, or get finished in the first round. So I think betting Fabinski live would be smarter, because I just feel like a Muniz sub would be front loaded. I definitely think Fabinski can land takedowns, but I just think Muniz is dangerous off his back, not only with subs, but he's really good with sweeps. And if you watch him, he's actually not held down all that much, especially early. And the thing is, it's a sequence everyone points out, and it was immediately the first one that came to my mind when I saw that this fight got made, was remember how Muniz was just laying on his back against Araujo like an idiot? So I remember just being fuck, Fabinski's going to get top time and cruise. But a thing that I noticed in that fight was Araujo was standing up outside of the guard, kind of slapping at his feet and trying to throw a punch every now and then. And Muniz would put his hands behind his head and lay there. When he would actually engage, or when anyone engages, Muniz will, and you go chest to chest and actually go in guard, Muniz will threaten. And Fabinski always engages, right? I don't think he'll do. If I was Fabinski's coach, I would say to bleed some of the clock and do what Araujo did, but Fabinski doesn't really do that. That's something I really noticed on tape. I don't know if you agree with that, but originally I thought it was kind of a thing that Fabinski would just lay on top, but I think it's harder to lay on top of Muniz when you're actually engaged in his guard. Fabinski shoots a shitload of shots with his head that are there for guillotines, and Muniz has a pretty good guillotine. I think Muniz can actually land takedowns here too. I think his takedowns are pretty good for a jiu-jitsu guy, especially early. And the thing is, I think Fabinski's sub defense, I just don't see how anyone could be confident either way, because we've never really seen him go up against a really good grappler who can pass and threaten with submissions, except against Perreira, but he was hurt before that, so it's kind of a tainted sample. But I still didn't like how, I know he was hurt, but I still didn't like how easily Perreira mounted and how easily he got his back at one point. And Fabinski tapped really quick. You know what I mean? He tapped super quick, right when it was kind of in. So I just kind of thought, I don't know. I think Fabinski's going to be in danger early, and I really think if you like him, you should wait for after the first round. I know that was a lot, but it was just stuff that I kept seeing. But it's still a weird fight, because I kind of worry for Fabinski, but I could still see him getting a 30-27, because if he doesn't get subbed, he still probably wins, right?
Yeah. And Fabinski just hung out in the guard of an elite submission threat in his last fight.
Darren Stewart. I was like, someone pointed out on Twitter like how I just wasn't picking up on your sarcasm last week because I was fucking sleep deprivated and I was so out of it, and I was like, oh fuck, this is about to be another spot where I didn't catch up on it there or pick up on it there. But yeah, I don't know. Like, what are your other thoughts? Like, do you like agree with anything I said, or you kind of like where are you landing on this fight?
About the same sort of thing. Like, again, I'm always kind of happy to. I've got a little bit of Fabinski decision at like plus 140.
I think that's a good play because I don't think he can sub this dude, and it's not like he really lands KOs, you know?
Yeah, like Fabinski KO is like plus 400, and I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, this guy seems pretty, like, not Fabinski KO is currently minus 700, and I'm like, I wouldn't touch a minus 700, but still.
Yeah.
Like, nothing to me is saying that Fabinski KO is like a 15% outcome.
Yeah.
But yeah, the sub isn't probably going to happen. Yeah, I think Fabinski should win off just enthusiasm and top control, and Muniz Araujo was such a meat fight.
Honestly, he very well may. But I tended to just think he was huge value, but then I taped and just got a little worried. Like, I feel like Muniz is better than people realize. And he is dangerous for like a round for sure.
Just checking the no scorecards. Muniz is minus 190, which is there.
I saw people picked up on that. Yeah.
Yeah, like that would be the logical place to go.
Yeah, if it was just a little better. But honestly, that still might have value. But it's still something that I'm not like attracted to. I don't think Fabinski. I just don't think he can. Fabinski doesn't really sub guys. You know, that's not really what he does, and I doubt he can sub Muniz. And it's just, you know what I mean, though? We haven't really seen Fabinski go against a guy with subs before, really. Like, kind of Perreira, but like I said, he was hurt before. And I don't know. I don't totally trust his game on a fresh Muniz early. And I mean, if he manages not to get subbed after the first round, then he's probably, in pretty good shape to win. So I just feel like live betting's a way better option than playing Fabinski pre-fight.
Yeah, and also my view is also kind of like, if I can get wrestling over sort of opportunistic jiu-jitsu at minus 160.
Yeah.
And so it's not like Muniz is like Cron Gracie or like really decorated or anything like that.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I do think he's pretty good though, but I agree he's not those guys. At the same time, though, I think he has better takedowns than Cron Gracie, So he might have a better opportunity to get like a back take or something because of his takedown threat, but I hear you.
Yeah, pretty much.
I've gone back and forth, though. Like, one day I'll be like, I think Muniz is going to sub him, then the other day I'll kind of think Fabinski is just, maybe it's a little paralysis by analysis and I'm kind of being an idiot, and maybe Fabinski's just going to dominate. I think it's just hard to know because I don't think we've seen enough of Fabinski against a submission grappler. And I think Muniz is actually pretty good in the first round or so. So we'll see. But next fight, Turner and Moises. What do you think here?
Shit show.
Yeah.
Turner looks like he's improved. This is going to sound like Turner's grappling is a bit of a weakness, and looks like instead of going in with the mindset, I need to learn how to minimize grappling exchanges, he's gone with the mindset of, I need to improve my jiu-jitsu. And I feel a lot of the time that's a stupid mindset. It's like Carl Roberson. Carl Roberson?
Yeah.
And it's like he was like focused on improving his jiu-jitsu instead of just like minimizing grappling exchanges. And it's like, you're not going to catch up to the guys at the elite level at jiu-jitsu by just spending a year and getting a purple belt.
I know. Yeah, it's like a waste of time.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, if you're a specialist striker, you need to adapt to you need to focus on just playing negative as possible, doing what city kickboxing guys do, and just making sure the jiu-jitsu doesn't happen.
Yeah, then
the mindset, I need to out jiu-jitsu these guys because you're not going to catch up.
And conversely, with wrestlers or like jiu-jitsu guys who try to strike, it's fucking obnoxious. especially even if they're like 60% to 40% on the feet against someone, just because like a lot of wrestlers tend to be athletic, but they're like 90% on the mat, and they'll take that stand-up battle sometimes. It's like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, like Hunter Azure and others.
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, Turner's huge, hits hard. I like the under on first glance, but minus 150 is kind of like Moises seems pretty tough, and like I don't know, the grappler could easily go. Moises could clam the fuck up like he did against Michael Johnson again. Moises subs live at 165 now. Turner KO's live plus 320 now. I don't know, it's just kind of going to be a mess. Like I think Turner might be maybe Turner should be closer to evens, but again, I took some plus 160 because I just saw a slow line. They hit it.
Yeah,
but I just see this fight as being stupid.
Yeah, haven't taken this one either. I think the takedowns are a big deal here. I think the metrics kind of tell me the values on Turner. I remember Moises like takedowns against Halabo looked okay, but I feel like Frivola is a better takedown artist than Moises, so maybe that Turner fight. Again, the Frivola Turner is kind of undervaluing Turner here, maybe a little bit. But Turner, like, generally, like, I don't know, Frivola attempted 13 takedowns in that fight and landed 4. So it's not like Turner sucked completely at defending takedowns. And Moises doesn't attempt that many. You know what I mean? So, and I think Turner is at a huge advantage on the feet. So I tend to think the value's on Turner, but I want to look into it a little more.
Yeah, I can agree with that. The question is always like, if Moises does get a takedown, I could just see it going to shit very quickly.
Yeah, it could happen. Yeah. Like I just got to look into grappling a little more. Just conceptually, though, I feel like Moises is a bad play, but we'll see.
Yeah. Again, it depends how jiu-jitsu dynamic will work out. And it could be a matter where like Moises can like tap him 80% of the time off a takedown, even if the takedown isn't that likely. Which kind of screws it. It's kind of screws everything. Again, it's hard to say. Like I think Turner's kind of a meme, but I mean they're both kind of memes.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah, the under's probably. I'd go to the under, but like again, I don't want to play a minus 150.
Yeah. Kelleher and Natividad. I haven't taped Natividad. Have you?
That's a pure boxer.
Pure boxer.
Yeah, like he can occasionally cage push a bit, and he has like combat cage push wrestling.
Yep.
Whereas like it does exist, but it's not good. Yeah, like he's very leg kickable. Kelleher is dumb enough to give him his fight for no particular reason, so I'm probably not playing Kelleher at minus 250 just because he can get striking wars, but like Kelleher
and he can get hit too.
Yeah, like Kelleher does have a very good chin though.
Yeah, it's still a dangerous game at minus 2 whatever.
Yeah, 100%. Like the under's a little bit tempting. Again, it depends what Kelleher goes for, and so we haven't really got enough confirmation that Natividad being awful off his back. But like, I think Kelleher could probably sub him if it comes to it. Yeah. Again, it just it's kind of Kelleher should beat him, but Kelleher is inherently risky enough. I'm not touching minus 225.
Yeah, for sure. That was kind of my thoughts, like just on Kelleher in general at this price, but I haven't really looked into Natividad at all, so who cares? But let's move on to the main event: Michel Perreira and Zelim Imadaev. What do you think here?
I'm actually leaning Zelim. Like I have faded Zelim so far, but I kind of think his cardio and work rate holds together longer than Perreira's does. But yeah, I took some plus 150, or I think it was plus 150. What did I get? I got like plus 130, plus 150-ish early in the week, so I was just like, that's a fucking coin flip. I don't have any interest in it. I haven't really added. Imadaev decision. Actually, no, that's been hit. I remember Imadaev decision was plus. It was a bit quite a bit wider. GTD is a little bit tempting. So there's interesting spots here. Again, a lot of it will be based on what tempo they decide to set. Like I like the over 1.5, but again, I can see them just deciding to swing to death and side around. Or I could see it getting slow stay. It's pretty slow and ugly. I personally think Imadaev is like 60% just because I think his cardio is better and I think his work rate's better. But like anything could happen here. Plus 150 Imadaev to play. Current price Imadaev, nah.
Yeah, yeah, I hear you. It's kind of like it's a tough fight to know, just because Perreira might come out and start doing fucking backflips. Or I don't know, maybe like both of them will be tentative a little bit and just kind of have a slower paced fight, which could probably favor Perreira a little bit. So it's just and it's just striking too. So it's kind of a little, if they just swing, shit can happen. So I don't really have strong opinions on this.
Yeah, like, and Imadaev can wrestle a little bit, Perreira can wrestle a little bit. It's just gonna be a very stupid fight. Like, over 1.5 is tempting. Then again, I also kind of feel like I'd rather have the plus 140 GTD than the minus 150 over 1.5, because I think it's gonna be very tempo related.
Yeah.
Like, you can know within like 2 minutes whether it's gonna be an under or not.
Yeah.
I think Imadaev is a little bit better put together, and his work rate should carry a bit deeper. Like,
Perreira puts some pace on him. Yeah, it could help him a lot here.
And Perreira did look like he controlled his pace better against Sanchez, but also Sanchez was presenting like anything to him.
Yeah, he literally was doing nothing.
Like, Perreira looked like he was about 3 times the size of Sanchez, and like Sanchez it was like a shitty takedown, and that was the only threat. Well, like, Imadaev will at least fire back. Yeah. Yeah, the current prices, I'm just looking and going, well, what the fuck? GTD maybe, but it could just evolve into a swinging match. Imadaev, I don't want to touch a coin flip with Evans. I do think Imadaev has the upside, and like, I've generally faded Imadaev, so like, it's the first time I bet Imadaev. But fuck. Yeah.
It kind of just seems like a little bit of a shit show and a little bit of a tempo guessing fight, but kind of it's gonna be stupid, I feel. Rosa and Eubanks, what are your thoughts here?
Jesus Christ. I think Eubanks could get on top of it pretty easily, but Eubanks also passes.
Have we seen any of Rosa's defensive grappling?
Off the top of my head, not particularly, but Eubanks is usually pretty solid for grappling.
Yeah, no, that's the thing, and that's what I'm kind of like, because like Eubanks has good metrics. She can get takedowns and whatnot. It's just, have we seen anyone really like? Because I remember Prosopio or whatever went for some, and like Melo went for like a couple, but I don't know. I just feel like we haven't seen her. Have we seen her on her back in the regionals or anything?
She's been subbed, but from memory, most of those subs were just guard subs. I'm pretty sure Gato was a guard sub.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, I'm tempted to play Eubanks submission, as I always am, and I know I'll never actually hit my Eubanks submission play.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, just kind of chaos. Rosa should put up a lot of output, so maybe that's an issue, particularly if Eubanks starts to slow.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's just whatever. How about you? Any particular thoughts?
I just want to. I'm like pretty behind on tape, but I just want to look into because I mean Eubanks is dangerous as a grappler, and I just want to look into Rosa's like defensive grappling a little more. And I'd watched her UFC fights, and I just feel like I hadn't seen enough. But I'll look at her like Gatto and Pacheco fights where she got subbed, and just kind of see if I can get anything from that. But Eubanks is good early, but I do worry about her cardio, just because Rosa is super high volume type of thing. Like, remember Beth against Eubanks kind of just slowed her down a little bit. So
yeah,
but that's kind of like the dynamic I see. Like, I just kind of have to look into the grappling like I need to for like 2 or 3 other fights. I'm like really behind this week, but
I feel I'm a little bit higher on Eubanks than some people are, but also just not existing in her direction for 3 rounds just kind of usually means you can have some success.
Yeah.
Subs also tempting because I feel like Rosa just seems like, sort of mindset wise, just constant output in every phase. So if she does get taken down, I think she just chills there.
Yeah.
Probably will open up avenues, but yeah, this is a shit show.
Yeah. Speaking of shit shows, Menifield and OSP, we've talked about this before. I favor Menifield early. I trust OSP kind of later in the fight. Even though they both kind of have not great cardio, I still trust OSP down the stretch much more. But yeah, this fight's fucking stupid. What do you think?
Ideally, Menifield knocks him out inside 30. Menifield knocks him out inside 30 seconds, so I can fade Menifield in his next fight, but no bet.
Yeah, pretty much.
My ideal outcome here is a Menifield hype train gets reignited because, I don't think an OSP win helps anybody.
Yep. Yeah, it's just kind of. I feel you. Menifield gets like a quick knockout, and then he's like a reasonable price against Rakic or something.
Or like he's favored over Anthony Smith or something stupid.
Yeah, what would happen in that fight? That fight would be fucking stupid. Holy shit.
I think Anthony Smith needs to fight more bad fighters. It's just a waste of Anthony Smith's talent making him fight decent light heavyweights.
He's taking beatings too.
I mean, the Rakic one wasn't too bad.
That one wasn't that bad, but I mean, his leg got fucked up. But I mean, the Glover one was pretty fucking bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just need to like put him in. There's more fun. Just make Anthony Smith and Paul Craig. It'd be fucking hilarious.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
You'd I feel like people would be genuinely excited for that fight.
Yeah, I mean, society would cure COVID. We just all move on to society.
Yeah, it would make liberals and conservatives get along with each other too. It would cure cancer. It'd be great. You just got to make Smith and fucking Paul Craig.
We'd all self-actualize, or just society would just be fine. We'd just be on.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, enough about this fight though. Overeem and Sakai. This is interesting. I've researched this a lot. My thoughts here are, I think Overeem's more skilled early, and I think he'll have a little bit of success early, but I just do not trust his durability in a 5-round fight, and I just feel like Sakai will come for him. And I know you hate Sakai, so I know you're probably going to yell at me after this, but it's still like a 5-round striking fight, heavyweight variance, a bunch of that. Like, I'm not going to play the fight, but I kind of think Sakai is value at plus money just because it's just a durability thing. That's what I think. And, but like still, like Overeem skilled early for sure, but I just don't trust him late. And the thing about it is, if you watch that Overeem fight against who was it? Rosenstreich. It's just there's no volume of Overeem, and it's tough because he got outlanded at distance in that fight. What was it? He got outlanded 68-46 at distance, and if you look at it, Rosenstreich outlanded him at distance 5-2 in round 1, 11-7 in round 2. It was 8-8 in round 3, and then 4 and 5. It was 25-18 and 19-11. So obviously, kind of Rosenstreich had more success as he went. And the thing about it is, Overeem attempted 4 distance strikes, 13 and 14 in the first 3 rounds, and then he attempted like a low amount in the 4th and 5th round. So it was almost like Rosenstreich was landing more distance strikes just because he was attempting more. And I just feel like that same thing could play out here if Sakai's just has more enthusiasm and cardio, you know? But I know you hate Sakai, so you're probably on Overeem here.
I've actually come to terms with Sakai a bit. Like, I still think Sakai has not been value in at least 2 of his UFC fights.
Yeah, I still think he's fine though. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like honestly, I don't think he's not UFC caliber. Like for heavyweight, he's fine. He just has been getting lucky in close decisions.
Yeah, like he I think he deservedly I mean, I know the fence grab and shit, like whatever, like yeah, he could have still lost that fight, but I think with what happened, like he didn't get penalized. I thought he deservedly beat Ivanov, and I thought he should have lost to Arlovsky. So I don't know. That's like he has like a couple good wins. Like Sherman's not bad, and Ivanov is not bad. And I thought Arlovsky beat him, but it was still like he competed, you know, type of thing.
Yeah, my thing at the Ivanov fight is like, yes, I don't say he didn't. We deserved to win the iteration we got, but I also just think if you rerun that fight 10,000 times, you just get roughly 50-50.
Yeah, for sure. I was on Sakai in that fight, and I agree. It just kind of seemed like a close fight. Like I kind of dodged a bullet there for sure.
No, I think I just had GTD in the end because I was just like, my issue here for Sakai is that I think Sakai, yes, has the cardio edge, yes, has the deep round edge, but Sakai is quite hittable, and I feel like he's going to have to absorb 10 massive shots from Reim, and I think Sakai is durable and fit and like tough, but is he?
But Reim hits hard,
tough and fit. But like Reim is like Reim hits fucking hard
for sure. Yeah, I mean, dude, it's a heavyweight striking fight too. Even if Reim hits hard, and even if he didn't, he could still land a knockout, you know?
But, you know, particularly since it's the Reim, and, like, Sakai, and also it's like, even Sakai's pace, like, against Chet Congo and Bellator, he just kind of got lulled into doing nothing.
Yeah.
And Reim could dominate him in the clinch. Like, Congo was controlling him in the clinch and controlling him on, like, the grappling, that sort of shit quite easily, and, like, I think Reim's better at those two things than Congo is.
Reim, yeah, like, he can grapple a little bit. Sakai has good, just like takedown defense generally, though, and Reim kind of does like a lot of clinch TDs type of stuff. If anyone gets takedowns here, it'll be Reim, but I generally expect this to take place on the feet for like a decent amount of the time, you know?
Yeah, I just feel like Reim will probably win the first round or two, then it'll be a matter of Sakai. Like, I think live bending Sakai at 10 minutes is probably a good idea.
Yeah, that's totally fine. Like, and I'm not betting Sakai, and I'm not even saying bet him pre-fight, because I do think Overeem is going to have success early, but I do think just like, if you're asking me who I think wins the fight, it's tough to say because it's still a heavyweight variance, but I do worry for Reim a bit in the 5-rounder, you know, for sure.
It's a weird fight because I'm playing a little bit for Reim round one and then get a live bet Sakai later. I just feel like there's like a 50% chance. There's like a good chance that Reim just kind of just destroys him inside a round. Like if Reim comes out hard, he could just annihilate it. Like Sakai is kind of slow and hittable. Like he doesn't even have the athletic upside of a Rosenstoik or a Harris or anything like that. Yeah,
no, he could for sure.
Like, you know, Sakai in round ones in the UFC should be like 0-3. I mean, apart from the Tibero knockout, like he lost the first round to Sherman and sort of out cardioed him. He lost the first round to Arlovsky and just that happened. He lost the first round to Ivanov. So like, I think Sakai. If he's still alive through 10 minutes or something, I think Sakai probably will become the bet. I think there's a good chance he'll get Sakai plus 400 at that point. But I just think there's also a very good chance Reim just fucking homicides him inside 3 minutes, and it's like it's just ugly domination, and people who are on the Reim will be like,
and Reim's super powerful early too, you know. So and like he'll be less, and it showed in the Rosenstreich fight. He's way harder to hit early. Rosenstreich was having, even though Rosenstreich was outlanding him, the margins were way closer. And I think it's also Rosenstreich wasn't attempting as much early because you're going to have a little bit of hesitance whenever you're fighting Overeem early. You know, whenever he's not tired and he's dangerous, like you don't want to just fucking go charging in and just to put a pace on him right away, because he'll make you pay for sure.
And is Sakai a big hitter? Like he seems reasonable for heavyweight, but I don't really think he's just live to just randomly spark Reim in the first rounds. Their consistency.
It could happen just because it's heavyweight, but like I would say he probably won't put him away in the first round for sure.
My view is just like Sakai has to like slowly grind up and like win and survive like 15 exchanges and then take over.
Yeah.
and I feel like there's a good chance he dies in those first 15 exchanges.
Yeah, no, it could happen.
Like I could just say Reem coming out, just clinching him, killing him inside around. Everybody's like, "Oh, Reem's the best," because Sakai is just not particularly athletic. But also, I could see Sakai pulling out late.
Yeah, like it's probably a good live betting spot. Usually, Reem fights kind of are, you know.
I think Reem makes him look like an idiot in the early rounds too. Sakai doesn't even have like the athletic upside of some of the guys who Reem's been having trouble with lately.
Yeah.
Like, is Sakai really like better than Pavlovich?
I don't really know how good Pavlovich is, to be real.
I think he's pretty good. Like, he's a weird heavyweight, pretty good, but like he doesn't have anywhere near Pavlovich's athletic upside and that sort of stuff. And like Reem's been knocked down / out by who lately? He's been knocked down / out by Rosenstoik, which again took 5 rounds with a massive shot. It wasn't like Reem was getting wobbled by arm punches.
Yeah.
Blades, that took 3 rounds and was consistent GMP. Nagano.
Yeah, Harris hurt him. Like, he can still be hurt though, you know. But like, I agree. It's not like a thing. A gust of wind happens and he fucking falls over. But I hear you. Like, it might be, his chin might be a little bit under. It's fucking insane how many times he's been knocked out though. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah, I'm fully prepared for Sakai to just randomly land an arm hook and like in minutes in and just kill him.
Yeah,
but I feel like Sakai has to survive 7 minutes getting the shit clattered out of him by Reem, and also has to survive that without changing his mindset and being like, all right, I'm gonna stop coming forward. Because there's also a chance that Reem sort of rolls Sakai into a nothingness fight because like Congo managed it. If Sakai doesn't feel like he can come in on you, there's a good chance he doesn't.
This is 5 rounds though, but yeah.
I could just see Sakai backing off because Sakai just takes 1 or 2 shots early on. It's like, yeah, fuck that. And
it could happen.
And he doesn't hold explosiveness the same way Rosenstoik does. Like, yeah, Rosenstoik got the knockout late and controversial and all that sort of stuff, but I don't think Sakai is a Rosenstoik level hitter. And I just feel like Sakai kind of has to just win by attrition. I just think that Reem is a hard guy to win by attrition against. And also just Reem is a round winner. Like, Reem historically for rounds, so he's lost like 2 UFC rounds. A lot of that is fragility means that whenever he starts going losing, he usually gets finished. But still, like he's lost like 2 UFC rounds.
Yeah, but even like the 3-round fight against Verdum, like Reem really kind of got fucked up later in that fight and got hurt, and Verdum outlanded him at distance 37-18. So it's just like, I don't know. Like, Verdum was actually a pretty underrated striker, especially back, a few years ago. But I'm just saying, I still don't think like the attrition. I do think the attrition path is totally there for Sakai, but like you said, I do think Overeem presents challenges for him early. But he is hittable. Like, Sakai is hittable too. So yeah, like shit could happen, but I still think Sakai, if he's there later, I wouldn't be comfortable on Reem as a favorite. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I agree. Like, if it's 10 minutes plus, Sakai definitely has a win path to win, but I just feel like getting to that point isn't a given. And like, I think we're doing 20-15 on Sakai. Yeah,
and I don't know even, the thing is, this is still like a heavyweight striking fight. Like, either guy could die,
I just don't think Sakai is. I think there's just fairly major athletic issues there.
Fair enough.
He's kind of foot slow, and there's a bunch of problems. Like, he's fine. Like, I think Sakai will hang around the sort of top 20 heavyweight for a while because like he got good output. He's fairly tough and all that sort of stuff. But I think you're going to see Sakai have some issues with like the elite. Like, Sakai versus Walt Harris, I could just see Walt Harris just sunning him. Because he is kind of slow and he does lose his first rounds, which is not a great thing at heavyweight when you start fighting the hyper athletes. So like, it is heavyweight.
Who are you talking
about? Sakai Harris, or like, I just think Sakai as a sort of athlete has issues with slow starting and just lack of explosiveness. Like, he's definitely got a path to victory here, but his path to victory assumes he survives Reem shitting on him, and you're probably going to be able to buy him at plus 400. So why bother hitting it?
Yeah. Like, no, I agree with the whole live betting situation, for sure. On Sakai, yeah.
But yeah.
But yeah, like that's pretty much everything. I don't have that strong opinions on that main event, but like right now I'm only on Azure. I got a good price at him, and I have like 4 fights to really look into some of the grappling stuff, like Turner, Moises, De La Rosa, Araujo, and Eubanks, Rosa as well. But what are some of your favorite plays?
I've got a bunch of the Lima. I just feel like Romanov is a meme.
Yeah.
Reign round 1, I think, is worth a dice roll. Not a huge one. Imadaev was solid early in the week, but not. Honestly, at the moment, most of my lines don't particularly appeal to me. I'm kind of waiting till props open up where I can kind of hit them bigger in Australia because we still haven't opened up at that point of the week. So I'm just kind of sitting on the sidelines waiting for some props. I know people listening to this podcast will devastate my props with $20 bets, so fuck you.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, yeah, I'm fucking tired, so we can end this, but we'll have new mics, we'll have new podcast software. So next episode next week should be a lot better quality, I would say, for our 14 listeners we have now.
Hi to number 14. Pleasure to have you on board. Oh god, even next week's card's kind of shit. Oh well.
Yeah. It'll be. Oh god, yeah, it is pretty shitty.
Come on, Schnell versus Nam. I'm actually interested in Schnell versus Nam. I can see that going lots of ways.
Yeah, that's a fight you'll spend 15 minutes talking about, or I'm trying to just transition to another fight. Right?
Look, Schnell is going to win minutes, and then Nam is going to randomly knock him out.
Yeah,
or Schnell's going to Nam's going to knock him down, and then Schnell's going to guard him. I like Schnell a lot. Schnell's one of my boys.
Schnell is one of your boys. Yeah, we got. God, I just want that Adesanya Costa card to come up. That just I'm just excited for that fight. We haven't had like a fun grudge match, I feel, for a long time in a main event.
I mean, you've also got Diego Sanchez versus Jake Matthews in that card.
Yeah, and Kaikara France and Roy Val, so I can. Your deep Roy Val will be just fucking going nuts, I feel.
Yeah, and you got Cerrone versus Nico Price. There's a bunch of amusing fights in that card.
That's a fucking hilarious card, yeah, for sure. Landward Shane Young will be fun too.
Plus 170? Yeah. I don't think Landwehr is very good. I'm just like, I just feel like they're both the same person.
Yeah, but all right, man, I'm gonna roll. But yeah, we'll talk about the next card next week, and we'll get on with it.
Yep. Thanks for listening. Catch you next week. Bye.
Yep. See you, bud.